What's up, everybody? This is Doc Val, and welcome to Brown Sugar Confessions, where you can listen to us live every Wednesday night on wherever you're getting your listening and your viewing pleasure. And speaking of pleasure, you need to get on YouTube and follow us because the pleasure is pleasuring. We are looking phenomenal tonight. You need to go on YouTube at Brown Sugar Confessions right now. Like, follow, and subscribe. If you want to see us live and in person, looking absolutely stunning. Tricey is back. We are so happy to have you back. Welcome back, girlfriend. Make sure you
Thank
go to
you.
Brown Sugar Confessions on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Hit up Doc Val if you want to talk about things that you and your partner are going through, or maybe you're going through yourself. Reach out to me at Valerie at swancenter.com. And for those of you that are listening, if you're in Delaware, I am doing something I've never done before. I am holding my very first tantric workshop in Delaware. I'm super excited for it. It's going to be a very small, intimate group. I want it that way when I do my first one in Delaware. You know what, Tricey, what's so funny is that I do them all over the world, and I've never done one in my home state. I'm not really sure
Really?
why. So I'm keeping it small, intimate, kind of boutique-ish. But if you want to get more details about the tantric workshop, it's going to be Friday and Saturday, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be absolutely fascinating. A family style, which means there's no nudity. Okay, get it out your heads. I know what you're thinking. There's no nudity. No one seeing you touch your partner. None of that. But we are going to have an amazing workshop on that. So make sure that you email me at Valerie at swancenter.com, where you can get all the info on the tantric workshop. And KD is out in the world doing what KD does, her AV world. Yay, she'll be back next week. And if you guys did not listen to last week's show, like there were over 90,000, I was told, people listening. I don't even know how that's possible on that show where we talked about prison wives and we didn't even get into all the dirt. But next week, we're going to bring back our guest, and we're going to talk to her and continue the conversation around prison wives. So make sure that you guys are listening. Send us all of your questions because we're going to read them on the air. And if you are listening from Delaware, and if you're in Georgetown at the Correctional Institute, where I get a lot of emails, guys,
Hey,
keep the emails
y'all.
coming. Hey, y'all, I'm not mad at y'all. Okay, just send me all your emails. I'm going to read them on the air. I got a couple of them, but I want to wait until we go back to next week's show to talk about what it is to be a prison wife, what experiences they go through, what obstacles that they have in their relationship, how they're making it work, all of the details that you don't get on those reality shows. We're going into details and talking about cheating on a prison wife with a prison male that's incarcerated, that's gay, and or bringing someone else in. All the dirt we're going to have next week. So make sure you tune in next week live only on Brown Sugar Confessions. So Treese, what's up with you? How's things?
It's going bananas over here. So we are in the midst of building our studio for Mischief Maker.
Yay.
We have officially hit that point in our journey where we can no longer work out of our home. We have to work out of a whole design studio. I don't have words for what's happening in my
Congratulations.
life and how this is going. If you'd like to see our journey and just see what we do, because we don't just make, uh, most people know me as a belly dance costumer or an Egyptian style dance costumer. We don't make that. We make brides' dresses, we make cosplays, we make props, we make mother of the bride, we make swimsuits, we make lingerie,
Amazing.
we make we make purses, we make anything you can think of, we've probably had a hand in. And I'm going to be completely honest, we even helped do some landscaping and crystal landscaping with huge pieces of crystals.
Wow.
Yeah, we do a lot of things over here, but I'm just super excited to see where we're going. If you want to catch what I'm doing, please catch me on Tricey's PCs on Instagram, and it's TRICEYPIECEY. So think Reese's Pieces, but Tricey's PCs. And if you want to catch the more dance related stuff, which I don't really post that much because a lot of my gigs are private, but I still post hilarious stuff over there, so come
Yes,
see
she
it.
does.
Uh, Catrice Feruza, Catrice Feruza Rakasa. So come see me over there, and let's get into the show because I just want to jib jab.
I want to jib jab too, girl. First thing we got to talk about is Uncle Shay. Or is it Shay Shay?
Shay
Okay.
Shay. But you can call him Unc Shay. Call him Unc
Uncle
Shay.
Shay. Okay, we're going to talk about Uncle Shay. You all know Uncle Shay. He does this amazing podcast. And here's a backstory. Yesterday, apparently, Shay himself, he went into his bedroom, he threw his phone on the bed, not realizing that he went Instagram live and him and was it Michelle? Is that her
I
name?
think it was Michelle. I
Michelle.
think it was Michelle.
Yeah. Him and Michelle were on Instagram live going at it. I mean, not video, all audio, right? Of course, Black Twitter went insane. Of course, everyone on TikTok was like sharing it. You have to go and listen to Uncle Shay because I will tell you from a woman's perspective, and I'm an older woman. I'm not even mad at him. I mean, he did. That's what a man is supposed to do, right? He was audio. He was descriptive. He was like straight up, just like nasty.
One, I think this is a case for people to remember to have a lock screen on your phone.
And not just Face ID.
Please. Not just Face ID, not just the thumb thing. Please put a set of numbers in there and do whatever you're going to do
First tip.
because this happens more often than not. Well, it may not happen on Instagram, but I think we've all at this point accidentally butt dialed somebody, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So it is time for everybody. I know. I just want to get in my phone and go. Look, he could have saved us a lot. Now, don't get me wrong. I heard this audio by accident. I didn't know what it was.
Hmm.
Somebody said that, oh, it's his new podcast. And I enjoyed listening to it. So I just clicked it and I was like, listening to, where's the visuals? And then I was like, clutch pearls.
Clutch pearls.
And I turned it off because here's the thing, if I did not know he was doing this on purpose, I didn't want to be those one of those people that was intruding on somebody's private moment, right? I don't look at
It
leaked
can't be
nudes. I
too
don't look at
private on
any of that stuff.
Instagram Live.
But he didn't know though. That's what he's saying.
Right, that's what he's
So
saying.
what That's what he's saying. So what I'm gonna go with is I don't ever look at somebody's leaked nudes because I feel like that's an invasion of their privacy. If it
Hmm.
was stolen from the cloud or something, or somebody posted those, I don't want to take part in that.
Right.
But what I heard coming from a woman's perspective, and I've been with my share of both the gentlemen and the ladies. And there is nothing more sensual than talking your partner through
Yeah.
having their own. There is a level of connection, and I'm not gonna lie to you, especially if I'm on top in either scenario with a gentleman or a woman, and I'm talking you through that stuff. As a practicing energetic worker, the energetic exchange from you talking someone through. Oh, it's big head friendly. When I tell you, I feel the power.
The
I'm
power,
Shira with the sword.
I will tell you, I thought he was like, and the grunting like a
Yeah.
bear, straight up
First
animal.
of all, some of that stuff is, I'm not gonna lie, some of that stuff is kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie. I love
Kinda.
it. I'm not gonna. Okay. When I hear a woman or a man, when I am with them and I'm giving them so much pleasure that they're like in the noise of it, like I'm just like, I'm gonna get that. Like, don't even, don't play with me. And if you're not talking your partner through your orgasm, are you just quietly hunching? Like you're just like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh." Like, is that what you're doing? Step your game up. Maybe that's why people don't mess with you the way they used to mess with you. Because when it was young, you was just fooling around. But now at your big age, you're not doing that. I need you to step your game up.
Yeah, step your game up. I totally agree with you. I want to ask our listening audience a question. Females, I'm asking you. I'm specifically saying gender, females, whether you're born a female, transition to a female, you know, when you're with a male partner, and I'm using male, do you want him to be expressive with his voice? Or do you want him to be quiet? Do you want him to be fully expressed in that moment, saying what he likes, saying what, you know, how he wants things, the sounds he's making? Or do you want your female partner like he's in church? Now, when I heard Uncle, I was just like, wow. I'm sure Michelle, whoever Michelle is, number one, girl, the rhythm you were holding, good job. Like you were
Like,
holding some rhythm,
fancy
right?
clap, fancy
Yes.
clap.
Yeah, she was holding rhythm. There was a couple of double pops. I was like, oh, that's rhythm right there. She was popping. But I just want to know, so write into us, write into brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com, and you tell me if you like it when your male partner is expressive. And I think, guys, if you take away anything from that, what you should take away, don't ridicule Uncle for his minute and, okay, under 2 minute performance. Forget about that. That's not the issue. The real thing I want to get around is, guys, what you should be taking away is a lesson on how to be expressive because your female partner likes that. So all these guys are on TikTok bashing him all over social media for saying all this stuff. And women are like, are you nuts? This is exactly what you should be saying at that moment. So for me, I think he did a phenomenal job. I loved how vocal he was. And I want you guys to write in to let us know what you think about Uncle Shay at brownsugarconfessions.com and let us know, ladies, do you like it when he is nasty verbally? Because yes. Latrice, what do you think? Do you like it?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm thinking of all the things that my past partners and partners have said to me, and I love it when they're vocal with me because it feels like they're present
Mm,
with me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it feels
absolutely.
like we're in this thing, this bubble together, and we're both trying to get serve each other. I don't
Hmm.
know. If
Absolutely.
I think maybe I've been with one quiet man and one quiet woman. Um, but I think that they were quiet because it was our first time together and maybe they didn't understand like they've had other partners, so maybe they were quiet. And after they got more comfortable with me, I'm not gonna lie, their noises did change.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it went from
Quiet.
like this kind of quiet to like when I say like loud, I mean I was like shh, shh.
You too
The
loud.
windows
Calm
is
down.
open. The windows are open, sir.
I love it.
And then the woman that I was with that was quiet, she actually broke my shower rod screaming. Like,
So is it about gender specific then? Or does it doesn't even really matter about gender, right? We either way you
no,
look at it.
I think either way you look at it, when you're with your partner, and don't, and I want people to understand, do not fake moan.
No, because we know. Like
Don't,
you know
yeah,
about us, we know.
Yeah, don't, I'm not asking people or not, I'm not suggesting people should fake moan to please their partner. If your partner is not doing it, something that is not pleasing you, be vocal. But also at the same time, don't be so uptight in your body, because as a woman, when you're uptight in your body, it clenches all your pelvic muscles and it doesn't, you're not going to get to where you want to go if you're all
Right.
like tight.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're vocal, remember, it's like, you know how people tell you to chew gum when you're doing something hard?
Mm-hmm.
Because that action says it's easy. It tells your brain it's easy. Talking while you're doing this tells your brain it's easy, and it lets your body relax even more. And
Mm-hmm.
to hear your partner talking to you and you're talking back, it's just, I don't know, for me, it's beautiful. And I'm not going to lie, I'm thinking of all the dirty things people have said to me, and my arm hairs are raised because it's hot.
It is hot. So for all the guys
I
that are
love it.
ridiculing him, I loved it. And guys, stop ridiculing him. You need to get a paper and pen and take some notes
Definitely.
because that is what your partner
Definitely.
wants. They want you to be vocalized,
Yes,
not to be a
please.
silent partner. So I was
Yes,
just
please.
like, I was totally shocked that it did teach me a lesson though to like not only face protect my phone, but put a lock on it because you just never know. You never know. So anyway, it was a lesson for all of us, and the memes that are going around, people saying all kinds of stuff all over social media. But Uncle Shay, we're not mad at you. You keep doing you. And whoever Michelle is, I have a question for Michelle. When Uncle said, what did how did submit to me or something like that, he
Something
said.
like that. Yeah.
But he said, relax and submit to me. Michelle, did you submit? That's what we want to know. And what did you do to submit? Because he was like, I'm coming for this. Relax them legs and submit to me. I was just like, are you
Yep.
topping her?
Next.
So disgusting. But anyway, we want to know, send all of your comments to brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com as we talk about Uncle Shay Shay going live on Instagram yesterday with Michelle and the audio. If you haven't heard it, it is a treat for the ears, and then you can use your imagination. It was like straight up erotica, which, it was okay.
Oh,
Live erotica.
yes.
That's what it really came out to be.
Yeah. And there are some adult industry film companies that have offered him $100,000 to work with them.
Really doing.
I don't know what it is. They just made the offer. Don't know what it is.
I'm sure $100,000 to him is like peanuts being an ex NFL
Yeah,
football
yeah, yeah.
player, and they need to come up with
Yeah,
a little bit
that's
more money before he jumps on that side of the game. But
yeah,
yeah,
that's got to be candy. That's got to
yeah,
be candy in a big jar for him. So he's probably like, no. But I applaud. One, I'm sad that he had to do, I'm sad that that happened, if that's really what happened. But two, I hope it makes people think. I really do. I hope it makes them adjust and rethink their position on what they deem is appropriate and inappropriate in the bed.
I hope so as well. I hope so as well. So make sure you send all those comments to brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com and let us read them on the air, especially if you want your partner to be vocalized. And perhaps I think a great workshop for guys is how to be vocal because oftentimes they don't know how to be vocal. And I will say, I also hear this from some men that, as clients of mine, that their partners are not very vocal. And I think actually both all genders can relate to that. Like it's stimulating not only the visual, but also the hearing portion of it. So that's what I want to leave you guys with that. So, Teresa,
Okay.
okay, what?
I got a question. We still talking about vocalization because we're gonna stay on this for a second.
Okay.
I want to know, do you like when your husband talks to you in German?
Why did you say you are?
Because question because I'm gonna ask it.
I okay, so let the reason that I'm laughing is because in yesteryear, I was like, okay, talk dirty, right? And do it in German, right? Because you want that, talking in another language, right? Girl, I was just like, oh no. It sounded like a Gestapo movie. I was like, please stop. just, just please stop. Whatever you do, just, just don't do it. It sounded
Don't do it. Don't do it.
sounded so harsh. Like it sounded like
Well,
I
German
was
is
in.
harsh though. It's a when you think about the umlaut, all the language differences, and just how they're vocal, it's harsh. It's like Russian can be harsh when
Right.
you hear it. As an American, you can hear it and it's harsh. It's not, what do they call it? Suavemente, like
No, it's not. It's not.
Latin or
It's not like
Spanish
Italian,
or
Spanish, French, right?
yeah,
That
it's
kind of.
not like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's very foreign to us. We're just like,
It's very hard on our ears. Like if you're not used to the language, it's like, oh my god, like, are you serious? Could you please, like, honey, please stop. So, but here I have a question for
be
you, right?
nicer. Mhm.
When your partner's speaking Russian, do you have this? Do you like? Oh my god, I love it when you speak Russian and talking dirty, or are you like, please shut up?
I like it because he says the nastiest stuff to me ever.
But it's in Russian, so how do you? But like the dialect, is it that different? Where it's like,
Because well, I ask him what he's telling after we're done, I asked him what he tells me, and then he says the most dirtiest things ever. And I actually asked my friend, because some people are going to be like, but how do you know he said that? Because I'm a Virgo and I research things. So I went and I talked to my friend who is Russian, and I said, tell her what you said. And he said it, and she was just like, he said some very dirty things about your private, but he likes you a lot. He likes it. And she told me exactly what he said. And when I signed up, because I have partners of different languages and backgrounds and ethnicities and nationalities, I went ahead and I took a Russian course, and I was talking to my Russian instructor and asked him, and he told me exactly what he said, and I was like, "Yep, that tracks. Love it. Keep saying it
so when you have the
louder."
Russian in one ear speaking dirty, then you have the Spanish in the other's ear speaking dirty. Is your ear leaning towards the Spanish side? Because Russian can be very harsh. I mean, I don't know, but it's
It can be, yeah, it can be very harsh, but again, I kind of like it like that. Do
yeah,
I
you do.
like Russian over the Spanish? No, I like them both. They both talk very dirty to me, and I love it. As you could tell, my voice got deep.
It
I can
did go
hear what
deep.
they're
You're like,
saying.
I love it. I love it. I can see it
I
got nice
do
and
love it. Yeah, but then I have an Irish person over here, and I was like, "Oh, talk dirty to me," and he goes, "Hey, my lucky charms." It's like, what?
please stop.
He's like, he was like, "My potatoes fried," and I was like, "I don't like you right now. I really don't like you right now."
So here's the other question we have. Like if you're with a partner that speaks another language or from another culture that has another language, do you like it when they're speaking to you in another language at that moment? And second question, do you really care what they say? Like, I hope you guys enjoyed this segment on Shay Shay talking dirty, other languages. Make sure that you send us all of your emails to brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com, and we're going to read them on the air next week. Make sure that you go get your drinks, go get some water. What you got to do, come right back. We're going to talk because Treese has an announcement. Maybe she'll share it. Maybe she won't. She's blushing back there. And we're going to get into some hot topics as if Uncle wasn't enough as we talk about love and relationships only that you can get on Brown Sugar Confessions.
welcome back to Brown Sugar Confessions. It is just myself, Tricey, and Doc Val. KD is out living her most wonderful life and having all the fun. And I hope she's having a blast, and we miss her and we love her. So we're going to get straight into this. I want to say a couple of things though. We're about to talk about some hot topics. And before we do, I need you to understand that Doc Val is the reason why the show even exists, because she saw a need for a community to be built. She saw a need for a lot of women having questions about their relationships, about their own sexual awareness, about their partner's sexual awareness. Plus, as women transition from younger to middle age to older, there are different kinds of help for us that we
Hmm.
need to take part in. And she saw a huge lack and a disparity in the system for women. So she decided to start this show in the hopes that more women would listen, their husbands would listen, and maybe ask these questions of themselves and of their relationships, and maybe seek to get some help. And if you need some help, and if you're listening to any of our shows, and you found yourself questioning whether or not what you were doing was correct, or just feelings in yourself, or if you could do better, or are these things that bad, or should I try something else, you need to reach out to Doc Val at Valerie at swancenter.com. That is VALERIE at Swan, SWANNCENTER.com. Now, on this topic of brown sugar confessions, if you want to write to us anonymously and just confess or have questions for us, please don't hesitate to reach out. Again, we're brown sugar confessions at gmail.com, exactly how it sounds. If you'd like to follow us, you can follow us on Instagram at brown sugar confessions. You can follow us on Facebook at brown sugar confessions. But we're going to be honest, do not hit up our inbox
Hmm.
with unsolicited eggplant pictures, because we
Please
see
don't.
you and we know who you are, and we can send bigger pictures back. I hope you know that.
No, you did not say that. We could, well, we do have a whole library of pictures by now.
And yes, we are judging you. We are.
You know, there's a
But
lady on a show. No, not a show, on what do you call OnlyFans, apparently, and that's her thing. She makes hundreds of thousands by judging eggplants. I guess it's a
I
thing.
think we should start that. I think we should start that, because I think there's a real market for it, and I'm here for it.
I know
The
you are.
Virgo in me says that is right up my alley. Um, If you'd like to catch Doc Val on TikTok, where she does all of her shenanigans and hijinks, please follow Dr. Valerie Popel on TikTok. She's over there just going viral, giving advice, and letting people know that you can have as many orgasms as you need and as you want. And there are lots of different spots for you to be hitting. So get over there and
Get
follow
over
her over
here.
there.
Hmm.
But let's get into these topics, because look, as we move on, we're already in September. October is going to be here in 2.5 seconds. By the time we get to November, you need to know that Doc Val and I are hitting the high seas
The high
again
seas.
to do a bliss cruise. I am lucky enough right now to be studying underneath her, and I will get to do some clinicals and help her and assist in all the wonderful things that she gets to teach all these couples. So I'd like Doc Val to take the time to talk about what she's going to be teaching on this amazing cruise.
Thanks, Treese. So, if you guys don't know by now that I work a lot in the lifestyle, and the lifestyle is the umbrella term that I use for people that are swingers, if you're poly, if you're into kink, if you are into some kind of alternative play, whatever it may be, it's that blanket term under lifestyle, right? Out of the norm, whatever the normal. quote unquote, is for society. So on this particular cruise that's coming up in November, there's a company that I've been working with now for 10 years. They actually started what's called the Bliss Cruise. And the Bliss Cruise is for adults only. It is a cruise where you can be naked, so it's great for nudists. If you're a swinger, you can actually play on this cruise. That's the word they use instead of saying having sex. The word is play. So they'll say, oh, let's go play. And this cruise is for really for any adults. And it's for couples, by the way. They don't let singles come on, no single males, no single females. You have to share. Well, you can be single, but you have to be coupled up in a room. That's what they ask for. But no real singles. Um, and what you can do is come on this cruise and fulfill by basically any fantasy that you may have. And you don't have to play. You can just be there and just participate in the visual stimulation of looking at all these beautiful people from all over the world, all walks of life, being free in their sexuality, being authentic in who they are sexually, and also just experiencing a really great time. Just having the most outlandish, craziest costumes. Everyone is dressed to the nines, like 9% of the time. And everyone is so friendly. I know when I've done what's called vanilla cruises, that's non lifestyle cruises. And people will sit next to you and not even look at you. They won't even acknowledge your presence. Like, God forbid you compliment somebody and say somebody looks good, or compliment a guy or girl. You know, they look at you like, oh my God, what's wrong with you, right? Or you start a conversation that's a little cheeky. I've been on those cruises, and to me, that's just no fun, because once you do a bliss cruise and realize how open and crazy and silly people are, you will absolutely book this bliss cruise time and time again. So I am the resident sexologist, and what I do is I teach the workshops, and I also am their peace ambassador, which, if you know me, that might be a really strange term to use, peace ambassador. But my job is to ensure that, the couples are navigating the lifestyle in a peaceful way, that if they have questions or concerns about it, then they come to me. And as I mentioned, I also teach on this cruise. So on this cruise, I am going to teach. I think I have 3 seminars and 7 workshops. So I'm going to briefly go over them with you. And you guys can ask me questions, email it to Valerie@swancenter.com, or send them to brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. And one of us will get back to you on the list, the itinerary. And if you want to book the cruise, it may not be too late. So the first thing I'm going to teach is, well, let me go to the workshops first. Um, the one thing that I was asked to do by several female passengers is, Doc Val, would you do a workshop on self-esteem? And I'm like, self-esteem? They're like, yeah. We come on here and we see women and we're comparing ourselves to them. We don't feel beautiful. We see our partners looking at other people. And, I don't have a good self esteem to be in a lifestyle. I just don't feel it. So
A lot.
that subject, and I never thought about like a seminar on low self esteem. But, once I started like looking around and looking at the passengers, and this was like all genders, right? I noticed you can see a person's energy when they're not feeling the best about themselves. And when I talk to them privately, oftentimes there's tears that's coming out because there's so much, I don't want to say emphasis, but it doesn't matter whether you're a size 2 or 22 or 42, it's for everybody. But how you feel about yourself is a different story. And no matter what size you are, the bliss is about inclusivity, everyone loving each other, loving yourself, getting along, and they don't discriminate race, creed, color, sizes. None of that is there for anyone. It's all an open, inclusive community. So I'm going to teach a workshop or seminar on low self-esteem. I'm actually going to use a lot of science in this workshop as I talk about how to use neuroscience to help you overcome your self esteem and some practical steps that you can take while you're on the cruise with us for these 7 days to help you with your self esteem that you can take back home. So I hope everyone that comes to this one of a lifetime, not lifetime, but I say once in a lifetime experience on a bliss cruise, am I going to do a workshop on low self-esteem and using neuroscience to help facilitate how to overcome low self-esteem. The second workshop that seminar that I'm doing is on low desire. The one thing that will happen to you if you're living long enough on this planet is that your sex drive will go up, but it also will go down, irregardless of age, irregardless of circumstances. It's going to have this. And sometimes we're more down than up. And low desire is the number one sexual concern for women, especially postmenopausal women. However, it is also one of the largest concerns, not the only one, not the biggest one, but it is one of the concerns for men is low desire. So I'm going to talk about low desire, talk about some things that you can do to help you naturally to raise up your desire. I'm going to go into a little bit of science around what desire is and also talk about some remedies, natural path remedies, also some medical remedies that you can do to help you with your desire. So those workshops are free. I want to make sure that you guys come to those. They're going to be phenomenal. They normally are, they're free, first come, first serve, but make sure you get there early because those seminars, they fill up very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this, and I have about, what did I say, 7 workshops, I think it is, right?
Yeah, 7 workshops. I
Yeah.
hope they're longer this time. I think I think that was everyone's
Mm-hmm.
input to be for them to be longer. But speaking on your the workshop about self-esteem, I'm in a
Hmm.
couple of lifestyle groups. And do you know that 98% of the questions that I see in those lifestyle groups are about, I'm not the ideal size. I
Yeah.
have self-esteem issues. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think I'm good enough. And here's what I want to say to someone. I really hate that saying you can't love anyone else if you don't love yourself. I don't think that's true, and I think that's
I
a
don't think
horrible
that's true.
saying. Um, when you're in this lifestyle, in any lifestyle, but it's particularly this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take the time to really, if you have self-esteem issues, see a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Really see a therapist, because those kind of issues coming into this lifestyle can only lead down a few very short roads.
Yeah.
And in the end, some of them are not great because your self esteem issues will tend to boil over into your partner, which will make your partner resentful. And then that messes up your relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. And when I say I've been on these cruises and I've been to Hidu, all these places, when I say quit looking at the pictures in the magazines, quit looking at the pictures on the website, quit looking, those are advertisements.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Right.
you understand what that means? It's like looking at Marie Claire or any of that kind of garbage. It's photoshopped and touched up to the 10th level.
Right.
When I say that there are all types and sizes and colors and abilities and disabilities and capabilities, it's all there. It's all there. In fact, you're going to be surprised when you get there and you're just like, oh,
Oh.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. There.
it's, there is really no cookie cutter thing to this. I met women as young as 22 and as old as like I think 87, 88.
Yeah, I think she was like eight in
On
mid 80s, getting it.
get but when I say getting it, I mean getting it
I
in.
mean, getting it in.
Like you didn't even have to tag her out. She was, let's go.
like,
I
like
just
tomorrow
under
was not promised. She was acting like she was getting it in at 80 some years old.
Look, and if you're a woman, you're already the worst. You're already your hardest critic. You're
Right.
you yourself looking at yourself. Stop beating yourself up. Practice body neutrality. I'm not even going to say body positivity. Body neutrality is the way to go. Just understand that this is your body, this is what you're working with, and that's it. But get some help before you start delving into this, because I would really hate for you to get into this and then constantly be judging yourself. And instead
Hmm.
of having a great time, you're judging like, oh my gosh, I bet my belly looks weird. They're going to get that belly. You know why? Because your legs are open. So
She said,
stop,
because your legs are open.
stop, stop. You're there. You're
Right.
here.
Stop the
Like,
madness.
stop the madness. But I understand that as a woman, that is something that happens to us. But I'm just going to suggest really doing the self-esteem course or reaching out to Doc Val so that you can get ahead of the game, get ahead of the curve. I
Get
love it.
ahead of it.
Be proactive instead of reactive. Proactive instead of reactivity is the way that we go now.
Absolutely. I love that. We needed that on a t-shirt, Tracy. And you know what? You don't even have to be in the lifestyle. What I might do is actually open this up to our community of listeners, and do a seminar for our community as a maybe even a way of saying thank you for listening to Brown Sugar for so long, and open it
I think
up.
that's an awesome idea.
Yeah. For all genders, because everyone suffers from low self esteem. Everyone does, in some degree or another. And
Yeah.
and some of us have a more a more severe degree, which really affects us in our everyday life. There are times when everyone wakes up like, oh my God, I'm puffy, or I don't feel cute today, or whatever. But overall, you get a little face, you do your little thing and you're feeling pretty good. But some of us, because of whatever, just walk around with this umbrella of low self esteem. And that's what I want you to get ahead of, as Tracy mentioned. So I think I definitely will open that up to our community of listeners. So stay tuned for that. As I'll give this to Tracy to help me put it together, where we do a 1 day seminar for our for our viewers and for our listeners on how to overcome self esteem. And
Love
then
that.
I'm going to teach on this cruise, women, and this is for couples, on the G spot and the waterfall of the G spot. Now, Tracy has been my assistant on the last cruise. I will have another assistant. You guys know Cece. She's been on my show before. Her and her husband will be there. And that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about all of this on one of the upcoming shows. Um, but on this workshop, I'm going to help your partner locate your G spot and how to release the fluid of the G spot. This is like, this class always sells out. I think there's only like 40 beds or something like that. So
Yeah.
that is probably like my number one most requested. I'm doing it, I think, 2 times because people want it so much. So make sure that you guys check that out. I'm doing one on male prostate. Again, something that a lot of people want to learn, have no idea what it is, how to release the prostatic fluid. And we go into step by step instructions, directions on how to do that for your biological male partner. So make sure that if you're on the cruise, you follow me for that. I think that one and the G spot are my two most requested. I think I'm doing that twice because it always sells out. Then I'm doing one on tantric because, and that's my personal specialty. I think, if anything, how to have a tantra experience with your partner. And that's the spiritual side of intimacy. Because after a point in time, let's be honest, how often can you just keep driving it, right? But the deeper side of intimacy is that spiritual connection and how to find that with your partner. And so I will be teaching a workshop on Tantra. We'll be going into actual physical um, touch points that we're going to use on acupressure points, on where and how to press them, You'll be learning some breath work, and some a new anatomy points to work on. So that workshop is, and I'm also using with, because this is our 10th year anniversary. I'm also going to use sight, and sounds and food tasting with this workshop. So there's going to be food in this one. There's going to be some sweets, some syrups, all that kind of stuff, some sensual
We
taste.
got to check allergies.
Oh, that is true, right? I'm not picking out your food. Make sure you get your own food. And I'm going to have it all a little buffet set up for y'all, some sauces or whatever. But we're doing that. And so I'm doing that one. And I'm also teaching how to massage a yoni, which is, for brown sugar, we say the lotus, the female anatomy. And then I'm also teaching a workshop on how to massage the lingam, which is the male anatomy. So, again, all of those workshops sell out very quickly. There's typically, Trees, how long was the line the last time we went one time? What was the line like?
It was a 3.5 hour line that I helped with.
Mm hmm. Mm hmm.
It was 3.5 hours, and people complained every second of the line.
Yeah.
And they all said the same thing. And we know it. We know it. If you want it to change, you have to talk to Royal Caribbean. Bliss cannot do anything about that.
Yeah.
You have to talk to Royal Caribbean. They're the ones that are holding up. They already have a system,
Mm hmm.
but Royal Caribbean says no.
Yeah.
So if you have a complaint, please take that to Royal Caribbean. But I feel when I say we filled out uh the by the end, and I mean people were still running in to add workshops.
Mm hmm.
Um it was crazy. And then selling at the door, we were still selling at the door,
Yeah.
but these workshops were completely out,
Sold out. Yeah.
sold out.
I mean, there's
So
literally,
what I'm
like
gonna
you said, 3 hours, 4 hours lines waiting. People on the
yeah, four
first day.
hours
They're
line.
gone. They're gone by the first day. We start at 1:30, 2 o'clock. They are sold out by 5, 6.
Yeah, by 5, it's gone. And then you got people being like, what's left? And you're like, nothing.
Nothing.
Just show up to the workshop. Maybe if somebody doesn't show up or somebody gets uncomfortable, a bed opens up. And that's just what we have to do. But everyone was filled. I think my favorite part of your tantric workshop was the reclaiming aspect.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like after sharing so much of yourself with cruise ship with 7,000 plus people on there, right?
Right.
You're sharing so much of yourself in that situation. To leave the ship and not have reclaimed your partner leaves you open and raw. I
Mm-hmm.
think reclaiming is a beautiful aspect of that, and reminding each other, like, remember, we came here together.
Right.
Let's hope we leave here together.
Right.
Fingers
Please.
crossed.
Mm-hmm. Please, peace ambassador,
But
leave together.
yes, leave together, baggage in hand. I just think that I thought that was a really beautiful aspect. I feel like people sometimes have intercourse and have sex and forget the togetherness of it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely.
they
I.
go on it, even though you're with someone, they write it out solo, which is weird to me.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with you. I think that my favorite class to teach is really the tantra class, because we often forget the spiritual side of what it means to be in an intimate relationship. You're so worried about the mechanics of it, you forget that the spirit is actually the driving force behind it. Hence the tantra workshop that I'm having in Delaware. It's going to be October the 28th, I believe it is. Just email me at Valerie at Swan Center, and I'll give you all the information. But this tonight, it's really been about having a conversation around intimacy, around Uncle Shay Shay shenanigans, and make sure that you always follow us wherever you're getting your listening, your viewing pleasure. And you know what we always say on Brown Sugar Confessions? Number one, don't forget next week's show, live. I forgot. Prison Wives. And speaking of prison wives and those listening, thank you for all the emails. We're going to read them next week. But until then, you know what we say. Stay safe and play safe. Bye bye for now, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Brown Sugar Confessions on Power 1017. Go to our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram page at Brown Sugar Confessions to like, share, and follow. Stay safe and play safe. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.